Good evening. This is David Lynn, and you are with me for another episode of Coffee Talk. It is Friday. This is the 24th of October, 2025. It is 7 p.m., and this is Coffee Talk number 515. Hello, Melinda Elliott. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here with me. Hope you had a wonderful week. I'm looking forward to the weekend. John C. Holmes. How's it going, John Holmes? Got a lot of topics to talk about this evening. It should be an interesting live stream. Uncle Al died Bullfrog 79. How's it going? Well, as we have people coming in, I think we've got like 5 or 6 in the house right now. I'd like to talk a little bit about, before we get into our main topics, I'd like to talk a little bit about stoves, the little portable stoves. And I'm going to give you an example of a couple of them. So this is a portable stove. Very inexpensive. Right now they're going for about $12. You put in a canned heat, or this is an example of a canned heat. It's like a chafing heat. You put in a canned heat, light it. These will burn for over 6 hours. And you can use these indoors. And then you sit your cup or your pot or whatever up on top, and you heat up. This is the preferred, if you're going to do it inside, this is the preferred one to use. You can use sterno, you can use different things. KP Heathen, my friend, how you doing? And Little Lone Prepper, how you doing, Little Lone Prepper? Barbara? Nita's vlog. Hello, Nita. Been a while. Thank you for coming. Yoda, my friend. How's it going, Dave? Hope you're doing well. Been praying for your health. So as I was just saying, and I tend to get, when I send stuff to people, I tend to, first time I send you something other, I'll probably send you one of these and a couple of cans of sterno, and then I will send you one of these, and these burn with fuel tabs. Comes with 24 tabs. I'll usually send the stove with the 24 tabs and an extra set of tabs. Cause to heat water, you probably use 2 tabs. You'll probably burn 2 of these in order to heat water. And the spare tabs come in a little pack like this. These are about $5 a pack. So the thing about these and the tabs, these tabs, they don't smell good. And you really do not want to use this indoors. You do not want to use these indoors. You want to be outside where you've got plenty of ventilation. However, you can certainly use these indoors. You can actually use these in a small room to heat the room. And these will work with sterno, and they'll work with canned heat. This is like a canned heat. And these will burn for 6 hours. Safe heat. Oh, who else came in? Let me see. Oh, Pat Bethia, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Let me give you a blue wrench, Pat. Pet Bethia 111. Let me do this real fast, and I need to shift over to. Let's see what we're doing. We're going to shift here. We're going to switch cam here. Me trying to get to what I'm doing here. Right here. Here. Ed as a moderator. You are now a standard moderator. Pat. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Please leave a like, everybody, to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. All right, you should be a standard moderator now. Okay, so back to what I was talking about. Having a camp stove, you know, and you can get them that'll burn on propane, or they'll burn on the little 1 pound green bottles. Butter Roll Boutique, how are you doing? Thank you for coming. Everybody, if you haven't done so, please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. Belinda's Country Living. How you doing, Belinda? Thank you for coming. Hey, I need to go watch your video. I understand you did an unboxing, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it, but I will. Belinda's got a wonderful channel. She's a good friend of my channel. I encourage everybody, if you have not done so, reach out to her. I believe she's somewhere around 5K. I'm just a little bit over 2K, and her channel's growing a lot faster than mine. But if you haven't done so, please reach out to her. So, 11 in the house, 7 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. Something else I just got that I just ordered. Bible indexing tabs. I got a couple packs of Bible indexing tabs so that I can basically put tabs on a couple of Bibles that I have. I tend to give those out to friends and people. And if somebody tells me that they don't have a Bible, or they're a new Christian or whatever, I'll tend to give them a Bible. And I like giving out the Haley Study Bible. Right now I can get them for about $15 hardcover. And they're very good for references. The Haley Bible Handbook has been combined with the New International Version of the Bible, and they call it the Haley Study Bible. And it's very good for people who want to learn more into what they're reading, because you can actually get descriptions of stuff, and you get explanations, and it's really good to have. Feel free to drop a link. I'm doing pretty good, Nita. Using bookmarkers are good. See, the thing about these are like less than $6. These go for like $5.95. I get them on Amazon, and you know, they're very good. They're very good. And if you are serious about, you know, using scriptures and studying and such, having those to where you can reference in a hurry, you know, this book or that book, it's good to have. So everybody's saying hello to everybody else, and we are about 10 or 11 minutes into the live stream. So I've got, good Lord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. I've got 4.5 pages of notes. Uncle Al really outdid himself this time. And 17 topics. 17 topics. So we can sort of get started going through these topics. And on a number of different things. And a lot of this is like newsworthy. This is stuff that relates to the news. So to begin with, mass media, social media, and political influencers are lying about the numbers in the No Kings movement. A lie. Since the president was legally elected by the public and House in 2024, Antifa, the Antifa, and mass media claims 7 million people protested. If this is true, the second biggest mass incarceration, peaceful protesting is fine, but riots and violence are not. It's not okay to riot and to pre-retirement days. How are you doing? That's not good. The right to assemble is in the Constitution. The right to ask for redress is in the Constitution. You do not have the right to riot. About 1 million people, this is Uncle Al looking up this information, about 1 million people actively protested. The rest were engaged in illegal and terrorist threats. Justice works slow, but we'll get these people. They are working on rounding up Antifa members since Antifa has been declared a, how you doing? Thank you for coming. The Rab won. So you know, they're having a lot of issues in some of the really big blue cities. The big blue cities. And as ICE, border security, law enforcement, federal enforcement, as they're looking to round up the criminal illegals, because a lot of criminal illegals came in, and a lot of illegals have committed crimes and really have not been prosecuted. Some of the big blue cities where they've done things, they slap them on the wrist, or they say, don't do it again. You know, the judges are very, very lenient. A lot of these judges are very lenient. And they're working on rounding some of these people up. The most dangerous ones they're trying to round up. And there are tons of them, because like certain countries basically cleaned out the prisons and said, go to the United States. And that a lot of that happened, most of that happened during the Biden administration. 4 years of like 20 million people coming in. Topic 2. The Trump administration has deported over 100,000 visa holders for political agitation on the death of Charlie Kirk. They're working on rounding up people who have been advocating violence, who have been very, very, very threatening, who are trying to just create all sorts of chaos. And a lot of these people who are doing this are like students that are here on visas, people who are here on visas that technically, legally are here, but they're here as guests. And if a guest overstays their welcome, if a guest does not behave, they can very easily be sent back to where they come from. Hello, Holly Ivans. Thank you for coming. Good to have you here. And again, I have been basically doing my live streaming on the weekends. So like last weekend, I had stuff going on. Like Friday was like a real late night, and Saturday I went to work. I didn't do live streams, and then I did my Sunday, and it was a very good live stream. So visa holders and guests in our country, they can be withdrawn. The visas can be withdrawn. That they can basically say, well, you overstayed your welcome, time to go home. If the person is a threat to our country, again, not freedom of speech. Topic 3. Living in the house and living likes. The left, Antifa, and Democrats empty nursing homes and mental hospitals for protesters to protest Trump administration. A lot of the people who are protesting are homeless. They're people who've got mental illnesses. Most of the people who are homeless have got some issues. A lot of them have got some serious, issues. Some of the big cities where populations well in excess of 1 million people, 2, 3 million, 4 million people, and you've got 50, 60, 70, 100,000 people who are homeless, and that doesn't count the people who are not citizens. That's above that. And a lot of these people, are drug addicted, they're alcohol addicted, they've got there's mental illness, and they're doing crazy stuff, and they can be violent. These people you see on the news, somebody got attacked, some innocent person minding their business was attacked by some nut that's got, issues and been let out of, this committed all sorts of crimes in the past, and they've never really been held accountable for it. It just keeps building and building and building. Before you know it, they've seriously hurt somebody. And a lot of times people are just standing around just watching, and they don't do anything. Like that poor girl, she was a Ukrainian 23, 24-year-old girl who basically got off work and was wanting to go home, and then that thug attacked her, used a knife, stabbed her multiple times. There was other people there, and they just watched. When she was bleeding out, nobody bothered to help her, just horrible type stuff. Topic 3, the left, Antifa, and Democrats empty nursing homes and mental hospitals for protesters to protest Trump administration and to map the death or basically talk about Charlie Kirk. They're stage puppets for political gain. A lot of these people, there's a core of people who are being paid to go protest. Like they bust them around. They go in, they've got their placards, they've got their banners, they've got their protest signs, they've got their little weapons, they've got their helmets and shields and gloves, and they've got their bear mace and all sorts of mess. And they go in there and, with the intention, their clubs and such, bricks, whatever, and they go in with the intention to cause grief. And like they form a very violent core of the protesters. What is sad is these people have been in the course of committing a federal crime. You got old people and the mentally unstable who wind up going to prison for things that, basically they were encouraged to do it. They were basically, egged on and encouraged to do things. You can look at little clips, and you get these people out here and like they start spewing all sorts of stupid stuff, very obviously stupid stuff. And was it Ronald who closed asylums not long after we did the same? We follow you guys even when it's a bad idea. Yeah, I can imagine. I have been praying for Mike Ivins. I hope he's doing better, Holly. Topic 4. Oop. Uncle Al wanted to talk about building a 9mm pistol. So the easiest is the Glock 19 pistol. It's putting one together, assembling parts, or customizing a pistol. Only the receiver is considered as a firearm. Now this is from Uncle Al. Non-firearm parts. You can buy the barrel, buy the slide and slide parts group, buy the trigger group, buy pins and springs, buy 3 15-round magazines, buy the sights, assembly of the slide and barrel. People with military experience and firearms knowledge can assemble this in about 30 minutes. Most people and YouTube preppers are not capable to handle this. Well, I mean, it's something that, have you done this before? Do you have experience in this? Do you have practice in this? It's the same thing like with cleaning a pistol. If you're talking about a semi-automatic pistol, I mean, disassembly, cleaning, reassembly. I mean, it takes practice to do anything efficiently. That sounds absolutely horrible. Woman walks up to another woman and stabs her. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Then Uncle Al says most 5th graders or people with that kind of mentality or knowledge, 5th graders, can assemble one in a day. If you can fix a truck, you can make a 9mm pistol. Once proper paperwork has been completed, you can buy yourself a receiver just like a pistol. Again, assembly takes about 30 minutes for a trained person. Before shooting the pistol, take it to a qualified gunsmith for testing purposes and see if you assemble the pistol correctly. And that's always a good idea, is to make sure somebody knows what they're doing, is helping you or overseeing. Hello, Rachel, mom of 4 boys. Thank you for coming. Good to have you here. Topic number 5. Yeah, it's all yeah, you want to talk about cleaning weapons. Good Lord. Yeah, cleaning weapons. Something that must be done, needs to be done properly. I remember my uncle, may he rest in peace, pulling out that oil rag. He had a rag basically that just damp with lubricant, and you'd have a blue pistol or a rifle, and he'd shotgun or whatever, and he'd be just rubbing on it and all, especially if he touched it because of the fingernails and because of the, you don't want to. So he'd have that thing and he'd wipe it down and everything, and just, I learned so much from that generation. So much from that generation. 10 in the house and 12 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Topic number 5. The appeals court allows Trump to deploy National Guard to Portland with force. You've got a lot of these judges. You've got a lot of these judges. What's up with your names? Well, right now, Rachel, you're the #1 commenter. So that's the reason why you've got a little crown with the #1 by your name. Antifa and supporters are fleeing Portland, Oregon, leaving their useless idiots to face the federal government. The Oregon Governor Tina Kotek may ask for international help against Trump administration, like the Chinese government. That would be absolutely idiotic. Like you've got the governor in Illinois, the mayor, you know, they're really pushing it, and you know, and they're being told that, you know, you step a little bit too far and you're going to get arrested, and you will be prosecuted. You know, you'll be in a Fed court and you will be prosecuted. And they're saying the same thing to a number of mayors and governors who are really doing everything they can to support illegals over citizens. It's a big problem. Big problem. Topic 6. Follow the money. The Trump administration has set the IRS and Department of Treasury to look into certain NGOs or nonprofits and unions. The AFO and CIO, California labor unions, national educators unions. Who's donating money for them, and why are they donating to Antifa? And there's a bunch of people. There are a bunch of billionaires that are contributing to Antifa. Several high-tech companies, Soros, several Indian billionaires, and the CCP. You know, you've got governments. It's in their interest to cause trouble. It's in their interest to keep us at each other. You know, you've got a bunch of division. They say a house divided cannot stand. Well, you know, ever since Obama was president, he was the big divider. No kings. Protesters screaming at women to shoot federal officials and agents. Topic 7. These are extremists who are political agitating for violence, not covered under the First Amendment. Yeah, they do. They want us divided. You know, I keep hearing stuff about this Mandami guy who's a socialist. He's basically a communist, running for mayor in New York, and they're saying he'll get elected. They're saying he's going to get elected. The Republican candidate, Siva, will probably get maybe 10-15% of the vote. New York is a liberal city. It's getting more and more liberal. A lot of the more conservative types, the money is moving out. They've lost over a million people in the last 8-10 years. People are moving out, and he's probably going to get elected. And when he does, oh man, I feel sorry for New York. The people that aren't bright enough to know they shouldn't vote for him. Topic 6. Again, follow the money. Who's donating? Topic 7. No kings protesters screaming at women to shoot federal officials and agents. Topic 8. Pack a food box for families in need during the shutdown. See the Red Cross Relief Box video. Contains the following non-perishable food items. So you want to help, you want to help out? Do some, give food to the poor. Give food to people who need it. 2-pound bag of white rice. A box of pasta. A jar of pasta sauce. It's like putting together a food box, you know, that they do for the people who go to the food banks, you know, in the churches. 1 can of powdered milk. A package of assorted cookies. A can of lard or shortening. One box of sugar packets. 1 can of cheese. 1 box of crackers. And crackers aren't that expensive. They help fill you up. They're good for, you know, to support a meal. They're not that expensive for a box of crackers. And they'll last for 2-3 years. They'll store for 2-3 years. A jar of instant coffee. Instant coffee. Coffee is so good. It's like my elixir. A jar of multivitamins. 1 pound of dried fruit, raisins, and prunes. A large container of fruit or vegetable juice. A jar of peanut butter or jam. Or a jar of peanut butter and jam. With crackers, great stuff. Reminds me of my childhood. It's also real big on the MREs, the military rations. They'll put these shelf-stable crackers, the big crackers. You get 2 crackers. And they'll put a little ounce of little sachet of peanut butter and a sachet of some jelly or jam or whatever. Stuff lasts forever. Good stuff, good stuff. Topic 9. Old Survivalist Weekly Goal. Exercise 3 days a week. Exercise is very important. Exercise. A mile a day. Walk a mile a day. 20 push-ups. I couldn't handle the push-ups anymore. 20 push-ups. 10 crunches a day. My knees don't like crunches either. You know, I can handle the walking. And I can understand exercising 3 days a week, walking a treadmill, bicycle, light weights. Yes, I can certainly agree with that. I did 600 boxes on Wednesday. Yeah, a lot of them don't vote. There, you know, that is true. A lot of them do not vote. Read a book. Try to read a book a week. I used to read a book a day. Back in the day when I was young, I would read 200, 300. I could read 200, 250 pages a day. I could, back in the day when my mind was really, yeah, I could, and I did a lot of reading. I read a good number of the classes, like 100 classics that everybody who's supposedly educated should be able to read. I read most of that. Take an online course on AI and update your resume. It's good to learn. I mean, I had training today. A lot of the stuff that the kids now, they're using for English and for various subjects, algebra, social studies, science, it's online. Online books, you get a hard copy, you get it online. It's interactive, and they'll give you the lessons and all sorts of stuff. Turn off your phone for an hour to clear your mind. Don't multitask. Concentrate on one subject if you can. Take regular breaks. And then invest $100 in stocks and savings. You should be saving about 15% of your income. Whatever, your take home, your take home. Try to, you need to have everything spelt out, how it's going to be spent before you spend the first dime when your paycheck comes in. You need to have a budget. So much for this, so much for that. You check off, make sure you make all your payments. And a lot of times it's best to set them up where they come out automatically. And you should be saving 15%. So on $1,000, it should be $150. $2,000 should be $300. $4,000, what should it be? 150 per, so that'd be $600. $8,000, $1,200 a month should be saving. I try to save $2,000 a month if I can, setting aside for a new vehicle. Topic 10. And remember, I said there's 17 topics. We're on topic 10 now. 37 minutes into the live stream. Crock pot pinto beans. Oh, I love beans. I love butter beans. I love pinto beans. It's like, okay, we're going to have a very, very filling, protein enriched meal. Love beans with cornbread. I heard stories about how my grandmother, great-grandmother, when my mother was a little girl back during the Depression, would feed the hobos. They would make pots of beans and cornbread and coffee, and they'd feed the hobos that came along the tracks that came over to their house. They had the biggest house in Sinton, Texas, and they'd cook from that's how the poor. That's how there would be soup kitchens and such, and that's how it wasn't the government, it was private individuals who were basically giving back. Unkael, how you doing? Unkael, thank you for coming. Enrique Trevino. So preparing the crock pot, a ham hock, 4 cups of dried pinto beans, 10 cups of water, 1 large onion chopped, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 garlic clove minced. Slowly cook all day. And you can cook them overnight. You can cook them overnight. That does not hurt. You put them on slow simmer and just let them cook. An excellent meal. Of course, you eat enough of those and you may be creating the camp out scene or the cookout scene from Blazing Saddles. Same thing with butter beans, or what they call lima beans. Good stuff, good stuff. I ate a lot of those when I was a kid. Using the laptop? No, I'm not using the laptop. I'm using the iPad, and it's just turned sideways. I've got a mount that I can, so I've got it turned sideways. Looks better, right? Looks more like, okay. I'm improving. I'm improving. I've got a light set up. I'm going to be doing some rearranging things so that I can have my lighting adjusted. It'll help me with my videos, and it'll also help me with my live stream where, it looks a little bit more uniform. And I'm trying to upgrade. I'm trying to upgrade, and I'm trying to improve what I'm doing. Topic number 11. So we're at topic number 11, and we're 41 minutes into the live stream. Going to try to stick with you for an hour. In New York City, the federal authorities raided illegal immigrant scammers and grifters targeting SSI elderly. Democrats and liberals defending the crime. Mind you, these are notes that I have from Uncle Al. Topic number 12. YouTube has fully embraced the AI. No humans at YouTube office. YouTube CEO removed the human workers from operating daily operations and expanded the use of non-human creators. This means small human creators are no longer needed. Reduce the pay output by YouTube. And mind you, I have been monetized for over a year now, and YouTube owes me a little over $80. I still haven't achieved my first $100, and YouTube pays when you hit $100. Now I don't ask for, and I'm not set up for super chats or donations. I didn't set that up. I could, but I didn't. I don't ask anybody to send me money. I do have people occasionally send me a goodie box, and I tend to retaliate, and I send them back one. And sometimes I send one, and then they decide they want to retaliate on me, And Uncle Al and I are giving back boxes. We've each 2 or 3, 4 times with boxes. My friend Dave in Georgia, back and forth with boxes. Joseph Moore, who I haven't seen this evening, he's sent me a real nice, which I have in my camper trailer, a real nice carry bag with emergency supplies. And I've sent him stuff before, and, it's like a retaliation. Topic 13. Portland. Portland has fallen. Portland police protects Antifa from the Department of Homeland Security, FBI, and ICE agents, or arrests. May risk federal arrest and felony charges. Antifa attacked one of these news media types from a small news media outlet, attacked him. And he asked for help. What did the police do? They arrested him. Didn't arrest the Antifa, they arrested him, and he was the one that was attacked. That happened in Portland, I believe. I saw something about that. The Trump administration may arrest the mayor, the police department for conspiracy and treason. This didn't work well for Germany in 1946. I tell you what, after the war, you had a lot of Nazis. You had a lot of Nazis who were committing terrorist acts against the U.S., occupation, the British, the Russians. A lot of them, resistors and such, and they were killing Nazis for years after the war. Yeah, poor land. Yeah, it's poor, all right. Postage is getting ridiculous. It is getting ridiculous. Postage is getting ridiculous. Topic 14. Paid protest groups. Caught. Trump administration investigating Democratic funding for No Kings movement. Using tax dollars during the shutdown, causing food stamps ending in 27 states by October the 27th. Topic 15. Attacks by useful idiots and mental zombies. Secret Service stops another Trump assassination attempt, finding a hunting platform near Air Force One. Had a hunting blind. They're still trying to get the president. Yeah, and they are in the process of doing that. They're also in the process of letting people go. And then you've got these activist judges, these liberal activist judges, doing everything they can to try to slow things down. They're just praying that they can regain the House in the midterms so that they can put up roadblocks to the Trump administration. Apparently, a leftist city accountant shot up a Trump supporter's house over displaying the American flag. Topic 16. Can you imagine that happening? You know, you're attacked because of patriotism. There was something in the news about FEMA when Biden was still in office. FEMA, they would go and there'd be a natural disaster or storm or whatever, and they'd go into an area and they would tell their people, don't respond, avoid homes where the American flag is displayed, or where, you know, they're wearing MAGA gear, or, you know, they've got a Trump sticker on their car, or, you know, just anything patriotic or anything religious. And they were telling them, avoid those, you know, that's dangerous. Avoid those people. It's not one of the topics, but that's a good topic. They were doing that. Yeah, and they were not wanting to, you know, they weren't wanting to get help. EMS, the police, law enforcement, they're discouraging it. Absolutely horrible. And then we have topic number 17. The viral slang term from TikTok, 6'7". Now, I've never heard that before because, one, I don't do TikTok. I've never, I don't do this. The only social media I do is YouTube. And I've never heard this in like some of the groups that they have and some of the stuff that they listen to. I don't know about this stuff. But they say it drives teachers nuts, students disrupting their classes, like younger teachers that probably have TikTok and do some of the stuff that, you know, they have Instagram and various things, so they're more up on what the current slang is and the stuff that the kids are interested in. That used by Generation Alpha and younger Gen Zs. From the song "Doot Doot" 6'7" by the rapper Skilla. Very rhythmic. Crouch down using hand gestures like juggling. And TikTok, keep going, everything is fine. Reality shock. It comes from the lost generation after World War I. It's considered a homosexual activity. Deals with hand and oral acts. I don't want to get into all that. It's a prison term for, you heard of Sodom and Gomorrah? Yep. 6'7" in prison. Not the NBA, not the 67th Street in Chicago, not the scores, not basketball players. And then how can teachers, deal with this? Write a 67 essay about the word and song. Send a letter to the parents complaining about, the behavior, like reaching out to the parents. Make the disrupting students, make it rough on them. Make it rough on them. Mike Crusher, hey, I liked your last review. I really enjoyed it. If you noticed, Uncle Al and I were the ones that watched the whole video and hit the blue timestamp. We watched the whole thing. We got your back. Mike Crusher Reviews, my guy for reviews. And I don't care for the deep, rich coffee, Mike. I agree with you. It's supposed to be mixed with 4 ounces of water. 4 ounces of water, that's not even a cup. That's like 2 sips, 2 swallows. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated, Mike. So those are 17 topics that we hit today, and I mentioned a couple of others. Yeah, the dark roast is very, very heavy caffeine. Most people would like the medium to lighter roast of coffee. And I tell you what, like the deep, rich coffee, what I'd use 2 packets to make a cup, an 8-ounce cup. I'd use 2 packets. And a lot of the because of all the complaints and the way things were, a lot of them, they stopped using it. They stopped using the deep rich. The Nescafe, I like the Nescafe medium roast. You get like 6 packets in a little carton. 6 sachets. The Folgers Classic, you get 7. And even that's everything's going up. Everything is going up. Everything is going up. What I like is I like a mochaccino. So in other words, if you get like a hot chocolate or a packet of cocoa mix, put that with a packet of coffee, and it's referred to as a mochaccino. Get the water real hot, put in the coffee, put in the cocoa mix, and you've got a mochaccino. And a lot of times that's what they do, like for the military rations. You'll have a ration that will come with like a drink, a little pouch of cocoa, where you can basically put in hot water. If you can have it cold if you want, but you put in the hot water and you shake it up and everything. Add the coffee sachet, make yourself a mochaccino, and excellent, very excellent. So we had 17 topics today, and I will tell you that, let me talk a little bit about how things are going with the channel and the growth. I'm up over 2,040. I think I'm at about 2,042, 2,043 subscribers as the live stream began. Belinda's Country Living, Belinda, who recently got a box from me and who did a video, she sent some people over to me. I picked up a few subscribers. I was in the low 2030s, and I picked up several people who came to me and said that they were sent over from Belinda's channel, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate any of the help I can get. When I hit 2,100, the 2,100, which I'm almost halfway there on the next 100. When I hit that, I will be doing another subscriber giveaway. I'll be doing another drawing, and in order to qualify for my drawing and for a box, to be in the drawing, you need to leave me a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released. I'm not talking shorts, I'm not talking posts, I'm not talking live streams, I'm talking long form videos. You need to leave me a nice supportive comment and a like, please, on each of the last 5 videos I will have released. What I will do is when I hit the 2100, I will take whatever video is out, my last video out, I'll write down each name of a person who left a comment, and then I will backtrack 4. Did they? Did they? Nope. Yes? Nope. And whoever did all 5, not 4, not 3, but all 5, their name will go in the hat. I'll do the drawing. It'll be a video. And if you want to see what people are getting from me when I do these, trust me, I'm spending about $100 between what they get from me and postage. It's over $100 it costs me to send out a box. And I send out good stuff. And then if you're somebody that I've sent a box to previously, because I do send boxes to people who haven't been a winner, they've been with me and they have not won. I oftentimes will send them a box, be very similar to the first box, the goodie box for the winners. And if it's somebody that I sent a second box to, I try to change up what I send, so I'm not sending the exact same thing to them. Thank you, Uncle Al. Thank you for subbing to Pat. Anybody who's here, please leave a like and a supportive comment, and please come back after the video. If you missed it, there's a lot of good stuff in there. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good topics. Uncle Al spent a lot of time sending it to me. I spent a lot of time writing my notes. So just to show you the way this went, this side, this is the previous one. This is tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 pages on tonight's video. And at this point, I've had 15 or 16 people come in and leave comments who have identified themselves. And when the video is, when the live stream is over and I look at the totals and everything, there have been 40 to 50 people who will have been through, and a lot of them were lurking. I've got a couple of friends who come in and they lurk. They watch it. They may leave a like, but they don't comment. And at this point, I have 15 people who have left likes. So somebody came through, left comments, and did not leave a like. So if you have not left a like, please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. 320 people were fed. That's wonderful. It takes a long time to do that kind of cooking. Uncle Al's got very active in his church ministry. I used to be very active in the church ministry. I used to be involved with Angel Food Ministry, which basically puts out boxes. The Baptists are very, very good about Angel Food Ministry. Not only the Baptists, the other faiths, Christian faiths that are involved. Angel Food Ministry. The food would come out of Georgia. You'd have an 18-wheeler arrive, and it would be full of food. You put the boxes together. You got like an assembly line, people putting boxes together that goes out to the people who either have purchased a box or people who are getting a box, given to them by the church. And I haven't been involved with Angel Food Ministry in years, but I used to be very active with it. I used to be very active with Gideon's International. We put out the Gideon's Bible. I used to be on the state cabinet for Gideon's International, and I'm sort of got burned out on that. My ministry is sort of like very small. People that I know, people that I meet. I give back. This is like, I feel like I'm participating in education. Education is a ministry, and I work with people who follow me. People call me, they text me, they email me. My emails in all of my videos. I would encourage you to contact me if you'd like to start a conversation. Send me your, email me. I can email you back, or you can send me your phone number. I will text you, or we can talk, or we can text. Um, Enrique just likes to email. He doesn't. I don't have his phone number, but he will email me occasionally, and I will email him back. And Enrique is a very good follower. Uh, he was one of my winners. He's been a winner, and I've sent him a nice box. Um, he followed me for several for a while where he wasn't the winner, and finally he won. And finally he won, and I'm so happy that he did. I will say that the next couple of people will be getting boxes from me um, will be there'll be follow-up boxes because I've sent them stuff before. It'll be Holly Ivins will be the next one, and then Barbara, the Little Lone Prepper, will be the one after that. Holly Ivins and Little Lone Prepper Barbara, and they will be the next two people that will get boxes from me, and there'll be follow-up boxes, and there'll be different stuff than what I've sent them previously. I may put some of the same stuff in there for them, like I may give them some extra fuel tabs, and I may send them some extra sterno or whatever, but they already have the stoves. And earlier I had mentioned and pointed out that um, this is an example of a folding camp stove. I usually put these in my boxes the first time I send them, use something other, and you can put sterno or camp heat. Like I use a lot of chafing heat. It'll also, it'll boil water, and it will also heat a small room. You can use these inside. As far as the other ones, which are like these, and they use fuel tabs, and these are other types of fuel tabs, but they don't smell good, and you don't want to use them inside because they stink. You don't want to be breathing that, and they stink. But the other, this is a comparison in size. They're relatively the same size. This is a little bit bigger than this. The other thing is that you can adjust this when you burn it, like this, so that you just put in a cup as opposed to a pot. But these you don't really want to use inside. You want to have plenty of ventilation with those. I support those who support me. I treat people the way I want to be treated. I try to give back. That's the thing is I used to give to charities. I would donate to charities, and now I basically donate and I give to people who I know or I feel are worthy. If I'm going to give somebody, like if I'm going to give a homeless person or somebody something, I want to give them food. I would want to give them a blanket, or I would want to give them something that they would use. I don't want to give them money because then they'll use it for their addiction, whatever their addiction is. I would give them a case of water or something. Um, you know. So I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Saturday. Hopefully Uncle Al will send me some more notes, and he'll send them early enough that I can get them in. If not, then I'll come up with a topic. And I will tell you, I'm an educator. I work 5 days a week. Once in a while, I go in on a Saturday, when I'm behind, I'm trying to get stuff done. I do most of the cooking. My wife doesn't have the best health in the world. I usually cook her breakfast in the morning. I'll leave it for her because she's still asleep, and then I'm at work, probably 6:30, 6:45. I'm at work. I get off usually I'm out about 4:30, sometimes 5 o'clock. I come home. Tired during the week, and then I also either stop for food or I cook something. Like right now, we got pork ribs that we were cooking, and I got them started, and then she's supposed to pull them out, an hour and a half, turn them over 45 minutes in, make sure you use some rub or something other on them, and then you're talking about excellent. Just make some rice or, vegetables or whatever, and you got a meal. So I'll be having that when I get off here. I would ask you to please leave a like to support the channel. If you haven't looked at my most recent videos, please do so. They haven't had that many views. We're talking about my last several videos have got 30 some odd views. And remember, these last several videos are probably the ones that will be when I do my 2100 subscriber giveaway. So if you want to be in the drawing, you need to make sure that you go back to these last 4 or 5 videos, because I'm getting ready to release another one in the near future. And the way my channel grows, it grows in spurts. So like I could be somewhere around 2050, 2060, and then in a couple of days I can hit 2100. I mean, I used to grow at about 100 new subscribers a month, and now it's slowed way down. But it is what it is. Anyway, when I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day. I drink my coffee. I take my medication. I say the Lord's Prayer. I try to get right. I get cleaned up, and I go to work. And then I try to take care of my business during the day. I pray for those who, that need prayer. I pray for my family, and hopefully I pray for peace. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Remember, the prepper motto is be prepared. That's the scout motto. Be prepared. The idea is preparedness. You might not be preparing for the end of the world, but you could be preparing for a storm or for a power outage. The water goes out. You could be without support for a week. It might take a week for help to get to you. So do you have a week's worth of bottled water? You should have a gallon a day bottled water. Do you have a week's worth of food? Do you have canned food? Do you have freeze-dried food? Do you have a means to heat it? Do you have supply of your medication? Do you have a good flashlight with batteries? Do you have a radio, battery powered radio? Do you have spare batteries for it? Do you have a good first aid kit? These are all things you need to have. And just remember, and you need to have a means of self-defense. So I oftentimes would send people mace or pepper spray. And that's a good, having a good folding knife, having a way to make fire, having plenty of matches. That's not that expensive. You can get a big pack of matches for $1. These are all things you need to have. Anyway, I appreciate y'all being here. And everybody, please have a blessed day. And hopefully we'll be back again tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye-bye. I really enjoyed this one. This is a very good live stream. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.